you are the man who who guided me in my truck driving experience, really.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I had driven rigids.
Yep.
But I didn't, I learned how to drive road trains, got my license, and then got put on your team.
You lucky man.
Fucking hell. Unreal.
Yeah.
So you've seen sort of, well, there was a coffee van.
Yep.
And then I sold the coffee van, was cashed up, and I think I gave myself I don't know if it's 6 weeks or 6 months off work, just not working. And then, pull that mic right in front of you.
Like that?
Yeah, there you go.
Righto.
Yeah, you got it. That's it.
10-4.
Oh, fuck
10-4 rubber ducky.
It's
right.
Dude, it's the same as a two-way. Talk into it. Don't do this shit here. Talk into it, you know?
Right.
But yeah, so I had that time off work, and then I think I already had my HR, and so I did a bit of courier work.
Yeah, so who were you working for then?
I was working for Southwest Refrigeration.
That's right.
And I was doing Perth, Bunbury, Perth, and Bunbury Southwest.
That's right. Yeah.
Started working for Sprint Express, and I was doing, I think that was Perth as well. And then, I don't know what the catalyst was, but I was like, who wants to drive rigids when you can drive road trains?
That's exactly right.
And got my license, and then I sort of had that soft handshake that if you get your license, we'll give you a job.
Yeah. So Cube was your first road train job. Yeah, right.
I'm not sure I told them that, but
yeah, I don't think I even knew that.
No,
yeah.
I tell you what, they did know, because Mr. Alphabet was very aware of it, and he put me in the truck with Dad, because Dad was working for Cube at the time.
Yeah,
he put me in the truck with Dad for the first I don't know, week or something.
Yeah, right.
And I don't know if your dad teaching you how to drive trucks is the way to go.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's the same, I'm teaching Riz's sister how to drive. Well, no, I'm not teaching her as much as I'm her, she's got her L plates and I go with her, and, we do a bit of parking and all that. And I know that she doesn't respond to her sister and her mum the same way she responds to me.
Yeah.
And I think having that someone who's outside of the people who are closest to you.
Yeah, I'm doing my two. They're on their L's now.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm doing that as well. Yeah, good. But with Patrick, I think it is actually better. Started going with the driving school.
Yeah.
And having me as well. But, I think having them, the rules now, even, I've been driving trucks and things for 30 years. But the road rules change all the time. Certain things, 10 and 2.
Yep.
Apparently they don't do that anymore. It's some other way of holding the steering wheel.
Really?
Apparently, yeah. So
that's wild. Now they're just
even I'm learning.
One hand cigarette in mouth.
Yeah, two-way. Yeah, no, that's done, mate.
It's crazy to think. I always, I'll tell you what, I'm out of practice now. I'm actually a crappy driver. In the scheme of my skill ability, I've gone from being a really good driver, because obviously as when you do it for your profession.
Yeah, exactly right.
Especially your trucks and trailers, I'm within 2 inches on your dog.
Oh, dead right.
You have to, know? And now just
all your weights.
The whole lot.
Groups, everything, yep.
Crazy. But now, I get in the van and I'll go to parallel park somewhere, and if it's not 100% easy, I'll walk further, I don't care.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Just being out of practice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, in your position, especially teaching your kids to drive, you don't want to be like, hey, I get paid to drive, listen to me.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah. But it is one of those
teenagers, mate.
Too close.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you know, Dad?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Exactly what I get.
Tell me, you were just before we signed on, you were saying your earliest memory of me.
So earliest memory of you was birth 8. We're doing a shipping campaign.
Yeah.
And your dad's business back then, Lotan.
Yeah.
And a little skinny fella came in on his little Harley Sportster with his big
handlebars up here.
They were. And I was in there and I'm like, oh, check out this young fella, get off this bike. Who's this? And then we found out, that's Jakey Kerr, that's Scotty Kerr's son. Oh, right, eh?
Tailgating, eh?
Yeah, you were doing the tailgating, so you weren't scared to get in there and get your hands dirty even back then?
Yeah, it's crazy to think that, so that job, trucking campaigns, you've got dirt in location A.
Yep.
And wherever that is, might be Iluka, XYZ. You're taking it to the port in Bunbury. You drive over a grate in the ground.
That's right.
You tip your first trailer, put it back down. We, the tailgaters, close your tailgate, scrub off the A-frame, make sure it all goes to the grate all good. Pull forward, tip your dog, same thing again.
That's it.
And that was just that for 12 hours.
Yeah, mate, yeah.
My God. It's ridiculous.
And it's, like I say, it's still today, exact same.
So they still, and I think now, like, because the rules have changed, I got to have 2 or 3 people down there.
Yeah, look, over the years and every year it changes, But normally you got your 2 tailgaters, so you got one up one end, one down the other.
Yep.
You got the hand signals. They've got certain hand signals they've got to use now. So every truck driver knows exactly when to, hoist stuff. Back in the old days, you could have your hoist, you could move forward and then wait for your hoist to come down.
Yeah,
all that's changed now, mate. Yeah.
It's crazy. I think one of the interesting things about building a business, because if we sort of, we'll fast forward the timeline. So I've gone from driving rigids, got my MC license. For the sake of the listener, MC means multi-combination, means you can drive multiple articulation points in your vehicle. So truck, trailer, 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 trailer.
Correct.
You can go from a single vehicle to essentially a vehicle that pulls multiple trailers. So I've done that kind of, I think I did in total 4 years, driving with Cube.
Yeah.
And then I went and did subby work. I did all night shift for a while. I bloody almost rode off that that Mac. We'll go into that actually.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But do you remember that?
No. What Mac was that?
So the bloke that I was working for, I
did hear something.
Yeah, well, it's not appropriate. I'm not going to name names. I mean, obviously we're talking about working for Cube, but as far as the subbies are concerned, for their sake, I don't want to go into it. But you remember the subby I was working for?
Yeah.
So he had a subby partner, business partner, and they would like share trucks, share drivers, that sort of thing. It was the first time that I was doing a bit of work for the business partner.
Yeah.
And he had a bonneted Mac. Obviously everything that I'd driven to that point had been cab over.
Yeah.
And when I was a boy,
and Volvos are very different.
Oh, dude, a Volvo's a car. It's an automatic car.
We can dive into that. Like
crazy.
That's why these days automatics, heated seats,
ridiculous.
Got more fruit on them than my car.
100%.
100%.
I mean, 80% of the Volvos that are on rotation right now have more technology than my high ace. 100%.
Definitely.
And
you'd be shocked at seeing the newer ones that have just come out.
I can only
digital
imagine.
dash, mate, unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
So yeah, I've got in this beautiful Mac. He's just bought it as well. I think I may have been the first person to drive it other than him, nice. And he drove it from the auction yard to Bunbury.
Yeah.
Right, so we've pulled up berth 5. We're unloading a truck. So obviously crane to hopper to truck, and it was semi work. So I'm second in line. We've got there, delay for about 2 hours. So we've arrived in the dark, sun's come up, beautiful morning. Like I remember the day clearly because of what happened. But so we've got there. So I'm first in line because I'm second, because the bloke who's first is under the hopper.
That's right.
Yeah. So he's got loaded, he's taken off. I've pulled in, and then there's been another 20-minute delay. Now, you got the bollards?
Yeah.
Like knee-high bollards, which are the tie-off points for the ships.
Yeah.
They're like invisible.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
In a cab over there, invisible. With a bonnet.
You can see it.
With a bonnet. You can see even less. Because you've got a bonnet in the way, right? Now, the 20 minutes has passed. They've loaded me. I'm starting to creep forward. Now, obviously... and like this is all a made up story, so anything that I did wrong here cannot be held against me. All right.
Yeah.
Now you've got your little routine, right? So you've got you're doing your tarps, you're doing this, you're checking that, you're putting your seatbelt on, whatever.
Yep.
I'm going through my routine in whatever order that I did it. It was a correct order from memory, actually, that you meant to do it according to the book. It was that order.
Yeah, of course.
And I've gone from sweet, we're rolling, everything's all good, feels good. I've gone to look over to my passenger mirror. And as I've gone to look over, my head has fucking smashed the ceiling and like just shit flying everywhere. Coffee, phone, everything's everywhere. And just from there, like from hitting the ceiling and coming back, then there's been this massive like resistance on the truck. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It comes to an absolute stop. Shit. So I've got out of the truck. I've run around. My front left-hand tire has rolled over that bollard. And it has ripped open the diesel tanks as it's continued to pull it. And as it sits, the bollard is in the middle of the second diesel tank. And there's diesel running from there towards the ocean.
On a berth 5 port.
We're scrambling, and I remember the bloke behind me. He's got out of his truck. He's like, "Oh fuck!" I'm like, "Yeah, fuck. Get the fucking spill kit, run."
Nothing worse, mate. Nothing worse.
And at this point, I mean, I'm only, let's say, 2 years into driving, 3 at best, and you're still a puppy.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
You're a puppy for the first 5 years.
6 months in. It's in Giarchie's nearly.
Dude, how do you feel?
Oh, mate, felt low as and
this big.
That's right. Lost me brakes. Had to go and clear my name because of 6 months. Like, he must have fallen asleep. I'm like, no, mate. And I had the people that were coming. I was putting the horn, blowing the horn because I was freaking out, and I've come back from Ludlow Heather Green back on the bus or highway, mate. 6 months into driving a truck, and now, like with the experience I've got, I would have stopped that truck. Yeah, because I would have put the part brake, but I was panicking. 6 months into driving trucks.
You freak.
Like, no idea. And, what to do when you lose that, lose your brakes, panicked. Yeah. Bang. Set, and rolled it right onto its roof.
Really?
Yeah, onto its roof. Yeah.
Holy shit. Were you loaded?
Yeah, loaded. Fully loaded with HMC. Yeah.
No way.
So,
that would have shook you up.
Oh, mate. And I was a mess for 2-3 weeks. Was out of hospital that night, though. When the busted them. Came out, and then the next day, mate, my face was like worse than what it is now. I know. But swollen. Radio came out of the cab and busted me in the face, and So that's what I mean. Experience, and it. I remember one of the old blokes, old Bert, that used to work for us, when I came back, because he took me under his wing for a long time. Retired at 74. But he goes, mate, you're not a truck driver until you've done something like that. Yeah, because it will teach you. You'll know damn well not to be cocky.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'll be honest, mate. 6 months in, I'm thinking, this job's great. Yeah. It brings you back, mate.
It's definitely something, So sorry, I'll just fucking finish that off.
Yeah. Go back to
We contained it. Went in there, did the bloody swab test and this and that and fucking around. Buddy got told to go home, obviously, and dog with a tail between your legs. You're like, fucking, what am I going home to?
Yeah.
And like you're questioning, like, am I going to keep driving trucks? Do I have a job?
Yeah.
What does this look like? This, that, and the other. And sure enough, I think a week later, back in a truck, doing it all again. And I'm from memory. Don't quote me on this. Again, this is all a made up story. If I remember rightly, the owner of the truck, the business partner, he's like, it's all good, man. You wrote it off. So I got to buy it back for fuck all, and now I get to build it the way I want it. And I was like, really? He goes, no, don't worry about it. It's all good. I mean, it sucks because it's off the road and it's not making money and this and that. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'll just build it the way I want it now. It's like, all right. I'm mentally scarred, so I'm glad my trauma helped you,
Yeah, for you, it's very different. You feel bad that you've ridden off this truck. Feel bad because and you do, with your mind, you're like, geez, do I want to do this? Do I want to get back into a truck? Because it can.
What's a truck and trailer set worth?
Oh, depending on what you got, mate, but a set of trailers, $150,000.
Right.
And then you got your truck on top of that.
Who am I to be driving that shit? That's what you're thinking. Yeah. And like it's different. I mean, it's not different, but it 100% is. Like when you're driving a truck with a big business on the side of it, that's a victimless crime. Because who's going to bed that night thinking, what am I going to do? How am I going to make this work? How are we going to make money? Fuck no, that big business keeps turning.
That's exactly
They pull that truck off the road, they put another one in its place. They put those trailers behind another prime mover and go keep moving.
Yep.
But when it's like someone, you're like, it's not only the embarrassment and ego, it's this person's involved. And it's quite and it's exactly what you said, it's a humbling thing.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like this thing like.
And I'll be honest, mate, best thing that ever happened to me was doing what I did.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you now that shook me and I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
And that was 22, 23 years ago, something like that.
How's the difference between that and, again, this is all made up. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus, but I know there's some things that happen that as a collective effort, you can get yourself out of some things.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
Truck driving is definitely one of those things where like you're going to fuck. I think this is something that you really like hammered into me was you're going to fuck up.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And that's fine.
I'll tell everyone that.
But just like address it immediately. Don't try and cover it up. You know what I mean? Like even if you
don't
just
hide it.
No. And like I think your big thing was because you're my team leader, team leader, supervisor.
Yep.
Same shit. Yeah.
Yep.
You're like, just tell me straight away, and
right.
if we can sort it out, we'll sort it out.
And that's exactly right. You know? Nothing's changed. It's exactly no one's perfect, and truck driving's not. It's one of them things, mate. You're gonna make mistakes. Some little mistakes can end up being big mistakes, especially if you don't address them early on. And you're always good for that. You always ask questions. You were really good.
I feel like I'm too honest to my own bloody demise sometimes.
Yeah,
which is a good thing.
No, exactly. But communication, mate, it's a big thing. You know.
I know that I always think back to that time I was tipping off at Lamback Wharf. That road hopper that points towards the ocean there.
Yeah, 7.
Like the N one.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm tipping off and all good, and it gets to the final stage and you hear this almighty bang, and it's like the trailer has the trailer has disconnected from the hydraulic. The hydraulic.
The hoist has gone through the trailer
and smashed the fucking cab, and then the trailer's just fallen down onto it. And just put hydraulic oil everywhere. And I remember getting out of the truck, I'm like, I wonder what job I'm going to have next.
Yeah, see, that's mechanical. That's not
even on you.
No, that's exactly right.
It's crazy. What's all right? So we're on the timeline. I got distracted. So then we went from driving for a subby, doing heaps of night shift. Riz and I kind of realized that, like, I don't think this is it. Working all the time and do it. Let's just save our money and bought a caravan before I had a 4-wheel drive. Bought a caravan. Then bought a 4-wheel drive and then saved our money and then quit the job or had like an end date, let our rental run out, and then the day we were meant to leave, bloody the borders shut.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of a blessing in disguise.
And you did your knee, didn't you? When was that?
Yeah.
So
sort of at the same time, that whole sort of period there where it's like had my knee and had to have like 4 weeks of taking it easy, which
not good for you.
That's a mental disability in itself. Because you feel like you don't have purpose if you can't.
Yeah, can't get around.
Can't do things, But yeah, then this started. This everything that you're seeing here now, like the podcast, the clothing, the printing, the social media. That's when all of that started. And it's funny, like building what I've built so far. The amount of things that run parallel to the shit that I learned truck driving is bizarre.
Yeah, right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, right.
I think one of the big things is like when I was truck driving, and this isn't a direct correlation, but when I was truck driving, I was having a million thoughts locked in a cab every day for 12 hours.
Yeah.
And it's like there's this self-resentment you almost get that you're like, I'm having these universal fucking like ideas about what I could do and if I could just, and at the same time I'm realizing like I was getting worse at holding a conversation with people because I wasn't conversing with people because I was truck driving. Mm-hmm. I went from talking to 100 people a day to talking to you and 4 other blokes.
Yeah.
And it's
one of them jobs, and that's probably what actually led me to truck driving because I wasn't a people person, as in chatterbox or anything like that.
Dude, I reckon in another life you would have been a comedian.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, well this is awkward for me.
Dude.
But one-on-one or talking with other people, no problem at all.
Yeah.
But once there's cameras and all that,
I think the big thing you did like straight away was like you felt not that much older than me, but you took a real like, you're under my wing.
Yeah.
It's all good,
Yeah.
It's like it was a safety almost.
Little peppercorn.
Yeah, little peppercorn.
Yeah, little peppercorn.
Richie Spice and peppercorn.
Yeah. And then the funny videos that you used to send, far out, mate. Oh, yeah. You made out... it wasn't a dull moment with old Jakey Kerr there.
I saw the video that you posted of mine the other day where I'm I'm talking to the camera and then I'm like, someone says something over the radio. I'm like, shut up! Hey, shut up! Come!
That was when like I said, once again, you look at that kind of stuff, and I didn't know how to do that. Like you had this funny face on your phone, and you're already into the technology and getting all your crap out. I remember you doing them. I think you were on a loader. He did a time lapse.
Oh,
then sent me. Just how you do it, mate. This is how quick it is on a loader, and you did this time lapse and it's all fast forward. And it was unreal. I'm like, what's going on here?
How old are you?
Me, 45. Just turned 45.
Yeah. So you're, what do you got? 13 years on me, 12 years on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like you're. I'm not saying that you're that much older, but it doesn't feel like you're that much older than me.
Nah, I'm pretty immature for a 45-year-old mate.
Where's when I have to be, well.
You know, put the hat on, mate, and I can switch, but at home, mate, yeah. And my dad was, you know, when my dad died, he died at 70, but you know, he was 70, but going on 25 himself. You know, it's just our personalities.
Your some of your stories of your old man still stick in my mind, eh?
Yeah, no, he was a legend.
Boys having a sleepover and he's going, oh, you fucking coming down in his white underpants. And
he was like, in his undies. Yeah. You know, first girlfriend came around in his undies.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Don't embarrass me. No, I won't, son. You know, Siggy in his mouth, you know. Comes to the door with Y fronts.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, awesome, mate.
Yeah.
You're a legend, eh?
How long did she last?
5 years.
Oh, there 5 years. Yeah, can't have all been bad.
Yeah, no, you know.
He was preparing her for the first time she saw you in white front white trunks. That's what it was, with the beer stains.
Oh, what a visual. Yeah. Yeah.
How's I see Peely at the markets every now and then, eh?
Yeah, well, he's just invented that wheelie bin.
Yeah, the bin cover to stop bloody maggots and that.
Yeah. So no, he's doing the same, mate. He's gone back up to Collie.
Yeah.
So he's driving trucks up there Monday to Friday, so he's got the weekends off to get to the markets and get on. Yeah.
Tell you what, the bloody, as much as like, because I used to go from like every truck that went past, be like, who's driving that?
Yeah.
You know? What are they carrying? His tarp's not on fucking this and that.
Yeah.
You know? And now I've through practicing, like I actively don't look at trucks, you know? But it seems no matter how hard I try, the trucking industry just always comes back to me.
Yeah.
You know, like the amount of, I mean, for example, like I'm doing business with this one group now, and they said, oh, can you do stickers? Yeah, well, I can do stickers. Oh, well, we're currently getting our stickers off this other dude, Jake Lazareski.
Oh, yeah.
The young Jake he used to drive. Yeah, he's got his own sticker printing setup.
Oh,
and
right,
it's just like, there's another connection, you know?
Unreal.
Yeah, I catch up with Jimmy Giarchi on occasion.
Yeah.
So he's my age or a year older than me. And he's, I think he might oversee all of the media and socials and that for MGM.
Oh, MGM, yeah.
So, yeah, it's like, then all of a sudden you're an hour into a conversation talking about the fucking transport industry here. Like, and it just seems like it's, I don't know. I think Bunbury's just a small place as well.
Oh, it is.
But, yeah. So, tell me, give me some trucking yarns. What's the goss? What's been happening?
Oh, mate. What can I say? Fucking, in which way? Like, what do you want to know? the funny side of things?
Give me some dirt on some people, all right? No, what's was that your most significant incident the 6 months into, you reckon?
Yeah, that was definitely the biggest one, mate. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, and now it's all changed. Like now I'm in an office more than driving trucks, so I'm down there. Yeah. So I'm doing Burner's job, like what Burner used to do now.
Wow.
So I'm in so I'm still getting the trucks.
You've been doing that for a while, but
yeah. So I've been doing that.
All right.
2 years. Yeah. 2 years again, like on a sportsman roster.
Do you like it?
I love it. The job. I love driving trucks.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to.
Yeah.
But the roster, I'm a sportsman roster, so I'm only on working 4.5 months a year now.
Yeah, beautiful.
Compared to the 8 and 4, doing 4 days, 4 nights, 4 off, and with 6 kids, 5 still at home.
Yeah, you want to be there.
I want to be there, and with Susie going back to work too, like so she had her plan once our daughter got to 6, 7 years of age.
Yeah,
Susie was going back to work. She's doing really well with what she does.
Yeah.
So and she's Monday to Friday. So I'm trying to so we're juggling the kids and we're juggling our
How many years were you on 8 and 4?
20 years.
Brother, I reckon that shit's not good for you.
No, it's I don't like that roster. Now being out of it, but when you're doing it, you don't realise how bad or how much you've missed too. Like the way it works, you're not getting that many weekends off. Yeah. You know, the way that roster works, it's just I missed a lot, like for the kids, especially the 3 older ones, the 3 younger ones, and that's another reason why I did have a change. Is I didn't want to miss out on everything that I missed out with the 3 older ones because I was doing long hours too, like back in the old days and when James got crook, 14, 16 hours back in the old days when it was Giarchi's. Like
you'd take them if they were there.
Like literally I'd go to Collie, get a load of coal, take that to Geraldton, tip that off, come back to Mouchet, get another load and come back to the port, tip that off and come back a 16-hour day.
Yeah.
You know, so it's...
Fucking, there's a lot, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Definitely.
I think that, I don't know, there's Dude, like this morning's a good example. I woke up, I printed 15 meters of prints. I went to a young people in business walk, did that for an hour, went and dropped off some stuff on the way home, dropped into one of the cafes that I have a relationship with the owners, had a bit of a, you call it a business chat because it doesn't result in business today, but it will. Mm-hmm. Come home, do a little bit of preparation, set this up, have a podcast. I'll probably take half an hour off after this. I'll do some invoicing, make a couple of calls, got a book, you know what I mean?
You just keep going, mate.
There's something about like, I remember when Dad had his business and every now and then we'd have to go from, because everything was based in Iluka. You'd have to drive into town and you'd have to get some new high pressure nozzles. You'd have to, go to Bunnings and get this bit and that bit and need to go and see this person about this job. And then you might stop in at Marge's and get a bloody chicken and salad roll and you sit on the side of the road for 20 minutes. I'm like, I love this shit. I love this, like doing this, all these little things that sort of equate to something bigger. I love that.
Yeah.
And to contrast that with sitting in a truck, doing your 14th fucking iron cons load.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, I'm dying. I'm dying. And at the same time, it might be a Friday night and your mates, they're not even in town, dude.
Yeah.
They're just at someone's place having a fat time sending you Snapchats.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm socially dying.
Yeah.
And
I was like that for years, mate.
Man.
Years. Because, weekends, like I said, the way the weekends worked, and then when you did get a weekend off,
you're fucked.
You're bloody screwed. Yeah. And for me, like even with the 8 and 4, I'd do 10 and 2 because it was the only income for a while because we had the kids.
Yep.
And like I said, James got 6. So even Susie was up at Ronald McDonald for like literally nearly 12 months on and off. Yeah. So we were struggling big time, trying to get.
Do you mind talking about how he was sick? What was going on?
Yeah. So he had a heart. He's still got a heart issue, but it's he's a lot better now at 11. But his veins, the way his heart was, Susie knows way more about like the technical side, but the veins weren't pumping the oxygen the right way and all that. So he had to have a heart operation at 6 weeks old.
Wow.
So, and we had a 30% chance that he was going to survive.
No way.
So that was gut wrenching at the time. And then I'm, as I say, trying to work. Like a lot of other people. Like when I went up there, I was like, poor us. But then you see all these other families and their kids, and mate, talk about humbling. You that changed me. That changed me big time.
How can it not?
Seeing what a lot of families have to go through. I'm a lucky man. I've still got my son. My son loves your body. He's got your desk. Yeah, he's got your old black ink desk. And you wouldn't know. But him taking his shirt off and having a zipper, as they call it, like a big scar, and being a little fella. Well, he's in year 6, but he's half the size of everyone else. But
does he do all sport and that normally, or is he a bit?
We've got to be real careful what he does. He can't can't have his heart rate elevated too much.
Yep.
In the heat, he's got to be cool. Like he's got to stay cool.
Yep.
So if it's like summertime, he can't. Be out there doing the 100-metre sprints and all that in 40-degree heat. But other than that, like I say, we've got our little things that we need to watch him with. But other than that, mate, you wouldn't know.
Unreal.
No.
That's So how old's your oldest?
So my oldest is 19.
Yep.
And so I've got a 19, 17, 16, and then we got the 11, one about to turn 10, and 8-year-old.
That's unreal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck, you must be told some stuff you didn't know on a daily basis, eh?
Oh, mate. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a good spread, though. You sort of you're out of nappies, everyone's doing the right thing, autonomous.
And it is. It's becoming easier and easier in one way.
Yep.
But then you got the teenagers going through their teenage years and, Mrs. freaking out because the kids are getting their licenses and, being teenagers. So, But, it's...
See, we're and at the bloody poor expense of the podcast listener who hears me bring this up on every single podcast, but we're trying for kids now.
Yep. And I remember a long time ago, a little Jakey Kerr.
It's what a weird transition from having an 8-year vasectomy to now had that reversed. And, it's funny. The mission behind the business is to create a lifestyle and environment where we can have kids and be there for them.
Yep.
You know, it's like that kind of illuminates how seriously I took the unhealthy lifestyle of working shift work and honestly, like, I know this sounds crazy to even have this thought at that stage, but to be out of the house.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, I'm sorry if this sounds pretentious. I'm too fucking smart to be out of the house to make money. If I'm swapping my time for money, that ain't it.
Yeah, yeah.
And if I'm doing that, I need to be making heaps per hour. I need to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not like an ego thing. It was purely like, just if you like talking to myself, if you believe that, then prove it, you know? And I think now we're at this point where it's like, all right, got the girl, she's it. Yeah. You know, like, we've been through the ringer, she's it. I'm confident she's it. For everything we haven't sorted out, I know we can.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely.
We've got the business and it's only continue to grow. We've got the house. You know, I feel like I've got the head on my shoulders, and like, as much as I'd love to go, just let us pay this off and get this done and get this. There'll never be a perfect time. It's like, let's just fucking do it now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 32. She's an age.
Yeah. so you're trying now?
Yeah.
See, all that's the weird part too. I've got 6 kids, like two are stepsons, like 2 oldest. But Maddie, my oldest, was IVF.
Right.
So yeah, like, we had dramas, like that was with the ex and all that, but we had she was an IVF baby. So and that was at that stage I didn't think I could have kids either. I was told, oh, blah blah blah, and then it changed, and then we popped 3 out, and you know, got with Susie, and bang bang bang, like year on, like 2014, 2015, 2016.
That's nuts.
Bang bang bang. I'm like, wow. Okay.
She had a season of just being pregnant.
Yeah. Oh, mate, that poor girl.
Yeah. Can't imagine. You heavy breathing over me? Fucking hell.
The Ritchie spice. She loved it.
Fucking hell. But yeah, it's such a, I don't know, 6 is wild. They reckon the first one is like very like crazy, like almost traumatic.
Yeah.
They reckon the second one is like, you're like, oh, I've kind of been here before. And by the time you're outnumbered by kids, like there's 3 of them and 2 of you.
Yeah.
You're just like, fucking, you do this, you do that. That'll be fine. Get up, you know?
Yeah. We should be called the Brady Bunch because it's 3 and 3, mate. But I can tell you now, our household, it's not the Brady Bunch.
No?
Oh, no.
What is it, like, obviously there is no average day because, you know, she's working, you're on shift, you've got, but like, what does a day look like in your house?
Oh, so most days, and even on days off, like, I don't sleep in 5 a.m. I'm up. That's you know, that's just me anyway. Body clock for years. So 5 a.m. I'm out of bed unless I'm on night shift. You know, then I get home. So if it's day shift, get up. If I'm home on my days off, I'm up. I'm getting the kids breakfast, getting their school clothes, like we're getting them sorted. Because it's, you know, especially with the 3 younger ones, you know, lunch boxes made, getting everything, you know, and you're doing all that, and then taking the dog for, you know, walk out the back to try and get him, you know, and shit
take
inside.
A leak, and yep.
So doing all that, then brekkie. What do we do after that, mate? Then they sit down. Normally get half an hour where they can just have a bit of, you know, chill time before we go to school.
Yep.
Then I'll drop them off, and normally like Monday to Friday. That's when I try and catch up with like my brother, or, you know, try and catch up with mates if I can, because they're the days when Susie's at work.
So it's kind of like, that'll be your time.
That's my time, yeah. So when the kids are at school, I try and have that time to go and catch up with people that I can't catch, because weekends and it's always been that way, weekends is family time. Yeah. So and unless we've got something organised, like a dinner, because weekends, that's when you can go out with your mates and, you know, so we'll organise stuff every now and again, but weekends, that's normally just family.
Is there much sports going on?
At the moment, my oldest was in the he was playing slammers for a little while, like he got into slammers basketball. Unreal. He's playing basketball now, like, so he's doing well. Patrick played footy for a little while, wasn't too keen. Maddie's more into acting, and like she's into drama.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
she's
cool.
doing ATAR at school now, so she's trying to.
She'd be jealous of your camera time.
Yeah, mate. She needs to be.
Bit of bullshit. Tell her you got paid for it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, just got that money. Dad's on telly. Yeah.
How did you get? $12.50. Thank you. Yeah. What did you get paid?
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then the 3 younger ones, like I say, James, very cautious, like, and he's not really that kind of kid, and in a way that's a blessing, because if he was, might be, mate, you can't play that because contact sports, got to be real careful with that
too.
too.
A bit heartbreaking, really.
Yeah, like you can't wrestle with him and do all that. You got to be real careful, And then the two younger ones, well, Lily wants to play netball, so this year it looks like trying to get her in the net. But saying that, mate, with the sports, it'd be near enough impossible with 6 of them. Trying to juggle, trying to drive them around to every different sports bloody place.
How much are you spending a week on groceries?
Mate, literally, do you want to know?
Yeah.
Around $600.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, $500 to $600. If you're getting the fruit, the veggies, and like, mate, that's where the sad part is. Like, we could get them fast food because fast food is probably cheaper.
100%.
Honestly,
yeah.
Well, it's sad, but with James, same thing. And another great thing with him, he's a health kid. He loves his healthy food.
Yeah.
So he's better than Dad. That one. He loves his salads, loves his, so, meat, as you know, meat's not cheap.
Fucking crazy, dude. But I mean, it completely makes sense. I mean,
probably $500 to $600.
Well, if you think there's 8 of yous, you're spending, $85 per person for the week. That's actually not bad.
Yeah, no, and that, like I say, that's your shampoos, that's everything. So and we do. I'm the one that does the shopping.
Yeah,
Susie does the washing, and I do the shopping. That's our thing. Because I hate washing. Yeah. I don't mind putting it in the washing machine and pressing button, but folding it, putting it out on the line and all that. I'll do it if I need to.
Your little fucking thing is you got neat handwriting. You've got you're a fucking picky bastard.
Yeah.
Like your truck is always clean, especially on the inside.
Yeah.
And you're very order driven.
Yeah.
It goes step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4.
It's always been like that.
Yeah.
Always.
See, I think it might be an easy misconception to go with 6 kids. There's just papers in the air everywhere. There's always shit. But
no, you're dead right. Because even me, like I say, they've got to get dressed. They've got I've got got everything in ducks in a row.
The concept of having half an hour between being ready and going to school, that's nuts.
Yeah,
that is nuts. That's almost like a little internal process that is probably going to really going to work for them later on as adults.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
it's like we rock up, we're prepared early. We rock up 10 minutes early. We do this. We do this. We do this.
Yeah.
This all ties back to at the moment I'm an adult and now I'm considering having kids, and then you sort of reprocess all of the parenting that was done on you, the parenting you want to do moving forward, the sort of childhood you had, the sort of childhood you're going to create. And it's I think, a lot of people's shortfalls come from the routine that they were provided as a child.
Yeah.
Because I don't think people want to be late.
No.
People don't want to be clumsy. People don't want to have these that seem to be built-in inabilities, I guess you could call them. But in reality, that's probably just what they were fucking exposed to over and over. So that was the standard. That was normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it's just, I don't know, it's just interesting. I literally have not thought about the correlation between how particular you were in your leading and your driving, and how that even bled into how I became in my truck driving, and then, being a parent and having, because I know just by the way you talk about your kids before and obviously right now, you take being a parent very seriously.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And I had great parents. My mum and dad loved them loved them.
Did you always want to be a parent?
Definitely.
Wow.
That's why we ended up doing, IVF.
Yep.
Because I wanted a kid so bad and I thought I couldn't have them. At that stage in my life, I was 29 then. So, and I was panicking then, 29, geez,
Doctor's look, man, you got to stop saying the word cunt or you'll never have babies.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But having 6, I never thought in a million years I'd have 6 kids.
Yeah.
No, I thought 2 was the number, perfect.
Yeah.
Boy and a girl would be great, But I would never change it for the world, mate. And when you have them, like I say, when you have kids, mate, best thing that ever happened to me is having kids.
Have you had I'm sure you've had plenty of them, but is there a standout moment where you've had a life's good, all 6 kids are laughing and playing and doing the thing?
Christmas time, mate.
Yeah.
Magical. Especially watching open the presents. Yeah. And that's an every year thing, mate. And being the immature person I am, mate, love Christmas. Love it, mate. I'm actually up before the kids most of the time. Yeah, I'm just like,
come on, get out of bed.
Bang! I will. I'll get up. I'll make fucking noise. I'll make noise. Get the fuck out of bed. Come on.
Today's a day. What are you doing?
What did they get? Jocks again. You beauty.
Yes. Walking around the house in the white Y-fronts with the Christmas hat on.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Loving it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So, look, Easter, same thing, mate. You know, this year I had to work Easter Sunday, so it was a bit of a pain in the ass. But like last year, we had maps for the kids because we normally do that. So we'll put all the Easter eggs out, and then they have an Easter hunt. And we burnt, even with the younger ones, we did that, and we burnt a map, and they had to find the map. So they had to dig and found this map, and then we do all that. Good memories, mate. Good memories.
Yeah, it's correlating from that to sort of like this Easter with our little friends group, because I'm part of I'm one of, let's say, probably, I know there's like another 4 dudes that we're all pretty close, but there's probably like another 2 in there now. So say 6 or 7 of us that are real tight.
Yeah.
And for Easter, 2 of them, the morning of Easter, because it just so happened to land on our run morning, because we run once a week, they've gone and hidden Easter eggs, all at our local cafe. So then when we've got there, you've got 6 fully grown blokes
running around,
pushing each other out of the way. There's customers in there like, don't give a fuck about that. We're barefoot and no shirt on, bloody trying to find Easter eggs in this thing. Like, get out, And it's like, that as well as, once a year I've got BlXCK INK Team Building Day. Which is like, I create a day that they essentially have to pay for. They don't know what they're doing. I just tell them like, be here at this time. You're going to be gone out of town for 24 hours. Bring this, and this. And they don't know anything. Usually it costs about $1,000, $2,000. And it's like that, then adding on to that, every time one of these blokes has a relationship issue, they come to me. And even if it's just to hear them out, not give them any advice, just like, cool, that's what's going on, cool, rah. And it's not necessarily that they come to me. Sometimes I'll push myself in the way and go to them and be like, what's going on? Like, just sort of like, come on, fucking, you need to talk to someone, talk to me. And I think if you blend all that up, the shit that comes out is like, I'm hungry to be a dad.
Oh, mate, definitely, yeah.
Like I'm hungry to like create that like family unit and to be able to like set things up for these, whether it's teaching them or making experience for them or, and I'm seem to be doing pretty broad strokes because I don't know why my mind's lacking, but for the point of the conversation, like I think I'm just super excited to like, sure, there's going to be really tough times.
Oh, yeah, and you will.
Cool.
Yeah.
Same as business, same as life.
That's exactly it, mate. With like anything.
Everything sucks. Cool. But the fucking exciting times do.
Oh, mate.
Mate,
and there's more exciting times than there's bad times. Trust me on that.
Yeah, dude.
You will.
Exactly.
And you'll be an awesome dad. You'd be an awesome dad, mate.
I hope so.
You will be.
I hope so. I can't imagine of all the stuff that's going on now to one day. It's sort of like if you were Elon Musk kid. I'm not saying I'm comparing myself to Elon Musk, but one day there is a possibility that my son or daughter or kids will be going to school and someone will come and be like, is your dad this guy? It's fucking crazy.
Where mine are very different. I get to school. Oi! Oh, Dad,
please, Dad,
come over here. Yeah.
Has the coolness died off of getting picked up in the ute yet?
Nah, kids love it.
Still awesome.
Yeah. Problem is, can't fit them all in. So it's
getting the tray.
Getting the tray. No, they love it, mate.
How many fucking headaches has that thing given you?
Oh, she's been in the workshop a few times, mate.
Yeah.
But she's going well now. Like, I had a few dramas of bloody getting both the tanks, both fuel tanks bloody sorted. But that was half the bloody problem. And getting parts, because it's American,
Yeah. Because, you had it in that joint on the corner there, and I always get left in a Bunbury print.
Yeah.
I fucking pull in, I'm like, Richie's still out of a car,
she, touch wood, she's running like a dream, mate. Been running well now for a bit. I haven't had to have her in the workshop for about 8 months now.
Beautiful.
So,
she's horny too.
Hey?
She's horny.
Yeah, off.
It's one of those cars that there's nothing even similar to it in town.
Nah.
Because what is it? It's a
C10, 84. It's actually a Sierra Classic. Right. So GMC, Sierra Classic, but it's C10. That's the same. And 84 model.
she's a what is the engine? Like what size is the engine?
It's only a little 305.
Right.
So 350 block, but yeah, it's a little 305.
So looks apart, sounds apart, but doesn't go super fast.
Doesn't go super fast, no. Yeah. But it never was. I was never planning on that one being me fast. Yeah, and it's me daily. Like I use it. Mate, I'll take that as a tip.
That's got a bloody T-bar in it?
No. Oh, column shift.
Really?
Yeah, column shift, mate. Yeah,
that's cool.
Nah, and I love
the bench seat in it as well?
Yeah, bench seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate.
Is that the, is it leather or whatever bench seat?
Vinyl. So I got it.
So I got it rewrapped. In summer,
yeah.
Eh? Gets hot as fuck.
Oh,
you sit on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more the seatbelts because they're stainless steel.
Yeah.
You put the fucking touch them when they've been sitting out in the fucking heat while you're working.
Get the brand on your arm.
Yeah, mate. But I love it, mate. Love it.
Yeah, I remember when. Okay, so here's actually touch a bit back on the motivation of starting to drive trucks for me.
Mm-hmm.
Dad's like, pay attention to the cars in the car park. There's a lot of nice cars, and like a lot of people will just rock up in something new. Where'd you get that? Oh, yeah, snagged it on fucking Marketplace for this. And because you're driving heaps and you're on a decent hourly wage, you don't have time to spend your money and you're making it.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, oh, yeah. And sure enough, after like 6 months, you're like, this dude just bought a brand new, he bought himself a new car that's someone else's secondhand pride and joy. And you talk to him, paid 14 grand for it, paid cash, There was, taking Dad's cars out of the car park. There are some fucking nice cars in that car park, I remember that was like almost the motivation to like, ooh, what car shall I get?
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah. I remember even back when I started, back in 2003, going into Giarchi's, the exact same, even back then, same thing. I'm like, here I am in a old EL Falcon.
Yeah.
Jesus, look at that. All brand new. Fair few new cars there. And I'm like, geez, these guys are making good money.
I tell you what, one thing that I did pick up on quickly is the fucking divorce rate in truck drivers.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Mate, and the old days over, even your dad would be the same, because when I started, talking to some of them blokes and the hours that they were putting in back in the 90s,
dude.
Wow. I complain about a 16-hour day, or even now, and that's where the rules for truck driving's become a lot better in the way of rules and regs for your time.
Yeah.
12-hour shifts, that's it for our boys now.
Yeah.
And
pull
it's
that
good.
bloody mic back in front of your face. Yeah. It's I know. I remember hearing. I'm gonna butcher the story, but it was like falling asleep, going past the transport office, and old man, whoever used to run the show, jumping up in the cabin, fucking hitting the shoulder like, "Wake up, cunt! You got another 2."
Yeah. Yep. Well, the story I got told, blokes coming back from Geraldton haven't been home for 2 weeks, coming into the fuel bowser and fueling up. And then going, beauty, I can go home. And then, nah, mate, get back in that truck. We need you. Yeah, got this and this and this.
Dude.
Wow.
And the pride that was tied into it. That's the part that I don't get. Like now, I take pride in I see my fiance for too many hours every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's part of the shit. There's so many, I've had opportunities that have come my way in the past 5 years that would have been great financially, would be great for the resume, they'd be great for the business. But I'd see my dog less.
Yeah.
Well, what's the value?
Yeah, no, exactly.
I get one chance to be 32. I'm fucking soaking it up.
Exactly. Hence why I've gone off the roster I'm on.
Yeah.
Gone to a sportsman roster because you start to learn the amount of time you've got on this planet. And I've lost my mum and dad. So that kind of, when I lost dad, I had it in my head, and then I lost mum last year. And you get to start getting your 40s and all that, and you do start to think, you've probably got more. You've probably had more years on the planet than you actually got left. So I start to go, I need to change this up. I'm not doing the long hours anymore. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I've got kids. I want to see them. I want to spend time with them. Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah, it's fucking hard. Do you see many young people starting in the trucking industry now? That's
another thing, mate. It's struggling. The trucking, trying to get young people in. Yeah, the trucking industry's struggling. Well, Australia-wide, trying to get drivers. And like I say, all these older blokes that know what they're doing, they're all retiring. All the blokes when I started, mate, they're nearly all gone. Because when I started, the 40, 50-year-olds are gone. They're all they're all done. They're all retired.
60, 70, 80.
You're losing a lot of experienced blokes that know And like I say, today's trucks, and they're all automatic.
Yeah.
Half the fleet you could go, oh mate, you put them in front of a stick, an 18-speed Road Ranger, and go, oh, can you move that? 3/4 of them wouldn't be able to do it, mate. Wouldn't be able to drive it.
I remember, so I like sharpened my teeth in automatic, and then when I started driving for the subby, he had an 18-speed.
Yep.
And I was sort of hungry for it.
Yeah, exactly.
I loved it. And I did my apprenticeship on his gearbox, so to speak. But that's
crunch a few gears. Yeah, exactly. That's right.
But I mean, not toot my own horn, like 2 months in, I was using the clutch to start and stop, and that was it.
Yep.
And everything else was just by feel and driving by the seat of your ass type thing. And I remember I got to a certain point, I'm like, what am I proud of? No one fucking cares. Like this is literally one business deal by him selling this truck and buying an automatic, and it's all over.
Yeah.
Exactly. But driving an 18-speed, it's invigorating. Like you want to talk about getting through fatigue management. If you're coming up to that roundabout and you're not in the right gear, you wake up.
Oh, mate. I remember doing them old runs to Geraldton and the Mac and all that back in the day, mate. I'd get home, mate. I'd get out and nearly fall out because you're on the brake. Like back in the old days before Forest Highway, going through Mandurah, you're on your clutch. Like you. So the time you actually you get home, mate, you're knackered.
Yeah.
Like, compared to today, like you hop in a truck and just go drive.
Yeah, but.
And a Volvo, like I say, like they're like a car. They're just
literally they are.
Yeah,
except it's just a bit more comfier seat. So when I left, the peak of the technology was obviously starting from the start, auto transmission standard. You had the eye, watching your eyes.
Yeah,
the tablets were somewhat new.
Oh, okay, yeah, they're still in there now. And
and you have to log all your
brakes. You got to even your. All your maintenance, everything goes through them tablets now, mate.
Wow.
Everything. Yep.
So what's been the latest thing, like as far as the tech's concerned?
Like I say, the MT data's come tenfold. Like they've actually got their own FMC station in Perth, so they actually they can get on and look at you in your truck and just go, righto, make sure he's doing everything right. So they can, do a sale on you, do it, it's... Yeah, the technology, mate, and they've got about 10 TVs up there just monitoring all the trucks, making sure. And if you're, if a truck's idling for too long, they can, something's not right here, ring you. Are you okay? You have a sleep, if someone blinks and the seat will vibrate, wake them up, then they're straight off the, on the side of the road.
This and that.
So, and, you got cameras at the front, down the side. You've literally got cameras everywhere now.
So you've got cameras down the side of you now?
Yep.
Wow.
Which, back in the old days, I remember when it all came out, they're watching us, But it actually helps the truck driver more than it actually deters from it. Because people, he was speeding, blah, blah, blah. And 9 times out of 10, mate, the complaints that come in, as soon as you look at it, it's like, no, mate, that's not right. He was doing the right thing. He was doing the right thing. But truck drivers do get a bad rap, as you know, for a lot of stuff,
As
not saying they're all perfect, but
ex-truck driver, I feel like I've got a good understanding of the spectrum of road users, and just the fucking blatant lack of awareness that people have for trucks in general.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah, pull in front of you and then just put their brakes on thinking that the truck behind them with 100 ton of mineral
will be fine.
Can just pull up, mate,
Yeah, it's a bloody circus out there some days, especially, you hit your public holidays and that, and you got poor bastards that are two up trying to cross a highway, and there's a 10-kilometre stream of traffic, and then he'll go, there's an opening, I've got to take it because if I don't, I'm sitting here for another half an hour, and then you get fucking lights and this and that, fucking calling the company and rah.
Brother,
exactly I'm sure you're going to get to Margaret River in the same time. Just relax, the car, not the truck.
Merging in Perth, like the merging for our truck drivers, especially now that we've got triples, So back when you were there, I don't think we had the triples running back then.
Triples, there was probably 6 months of triples, and I wanted on real bad.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, I'm glad I didn't.
Oh, mate. Yeah, going through that Perth traffic, it's just, you far out.
And just a straight road.
Yeah, but just people merge, this merge just cut in front of them, and you're talking 147 tonne of dirt on them.
That's scary.
147 tonne there.
And I know Speaking of old mate, they're pulling quads and fives up north.
Up north, yeah.
That's nuts.
Massive.
Dude,
massive.
Who wants that job?
Oh, not me.
You know, like honestly, like you're taking a gentle bend, you're hugging this shoulder for as long as you possibly can, and just the rest of the time praying that you don't wipe out the sign or the traffic light or this or that. Dude, that sucks. Got lumps on it.
Yeah, no, not keen.
So the camera that looks back.
Yep.
Do you have a screen of that in the truck?
No.
That's just
that's just in case there's an incident, accident, or whatever.
Yeah.
Get the SD card out, whatever, and they can check, and they can go right from 9 o'clock till 11 o'clock. Bang, check the cameras, make sure. So if there's an incident, accident, anything, they can check all that.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy, dude. I remember there was a few blokes that ended up. Well, it was weird. You sort of trip upwards when you have incidents. I feel in at Cube. Like I remember one bloke, he got done 3 or 4 times in a row nodding off.
Yeah. Yep.
So they found out he got sleep apnea, and then he was a supervisor.
Oh yes.
The fuck's that?
I know. Yeah.
What, someone who barely qualifies as a truck driver is now telling other truck drivers what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like what? Now he sleeps in an office instead of his cab.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah.
You know. But I mean, look, I'm not saying I know how to run the company better. It was very interesting at the time to observe these things, you know. There was something I was just thinking about. So you got a camera forwards, camera back, the eyes thing, seat vibration.
Yeah, so if you nod off, I think it's 3 seconds or 5, 3 to 5 seconds. So you nod off, that seat just goes, whoop.
Yeah. I know that fucks you up too.
Holy shit.
I let go off a few times when I wasn't falling asleep.
Yeah, also back in, I think they're a lot better now, but they were, when they first brought them out, you could be sitting there trying to tune your radio, like change this channel on the radio and the thing would go and you bastard, you know. Yeah. But now they started out with this little thing, now they've got this big, sometimes I'll look at it and go, geez, it's starting to get to a point like it looks like a cockpit of an aeroplane, mate. Seriously, there's that much stuff in them now.
Dude, I remember one time we hit a trailer, not you and I, but we loading a trailer.
Yep.
Which is, I mean, that's a whole other story. You know, doing everything that you do in loaders, as you know, especially you would have done heaps of shifts on loaders, eh?
Oh, mate, I'd probably spend as much time in a loader as over in a truck.
Just in and out of sheds and this and that. Yeah. But I remember I've nipped the absolute center of a subby trailer and fucking giving it a nice
little touch,
new shape, you know. And it's like fucking wait until there's a gap in the traffic, and we pulled him around and got a block of wood and got the loader, and we're fucking pushing it back into position, and they give it a bit more, and got the subby up on the on the loader bucket, like give it
unreal,
And I was like, what are we going to do about the bloody the camera? And I'm clear as day, I remember this. He pulls out his top pocket and he goes, it's all good. Pulls that memory card out, puts that memory card in. I'm like, oh my God.
Unreal.
That's crazy. You got one on standby just in case?
Yeah,
you know, life of a subby, eh?
Yeah. Unreal, mate.
Yeah. And look, that's one of those things now where in business for myself and the shit has hit the fan and you're like, it's all good. We'll get a block of wood and we'll straighten the trailer back out. Yeah. You know? We don't need a fucking, this isn't a big deal. It is all good, you know? And I think, you know, do you remember when I, you know the sheds out the front of the offices?
Yeah.
Do you remember when I hit that roller door like twice in 2 days?
Yeah.
Like, what are you fucking doing, you know?
Learning, mate. Yeah, that's exactly what
and that's a big fuck up.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember the first day I went home and you could feel it in your chest.
Horrible feeling, mate.
Fuckhead, you know, like, what was I doing? Just wait until the thing's a whole way down. There's no rush.
That's
it.
You're
not going to get home any earlier.
Yeah.
You're not going to get paid more. Just take your time, you know?
Yep.
Then the next day and you hear the sound again and you're like, fuck me, right? But that day, I didn't feel anything.
Yeah.
It's like, at the end of the day, Mr. Alphabet doesn't give a fuck. It's his job to tell me off.
Yeah.
He's going to go home and eat dinner just the same. He's going to go to bed, have his dreams, wake up tomorrow.
And do it all again.
Exactly the same.
Exactly.
You know?
Do it all again, mate.
When I drove past 6 years later, the door's still fucked, Richie. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Peppercorn cares.
Yeah. What else do you want me to sign?
I remember breaking it. No.
But yeah, and I mean, you know, we have, dude, you know what the crazy part is? When shit happens here, there's no one bigger than me.
Yeah.
There's no one that goes like, you're in trouble or it'll be fine. It's like, I'm judge, jury, executioner, and the victim, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, there's literally nothing that we can't figure out. You know,
That's
like
right.
you can figure it out in truck driving where you're dealing with these $1 million operations, and you know, sometimes just the stuff you'd have in the trailer is worth
$2,000 a ton.
And you've got 30 ton in a trailer.
In each trailer. So
well, you're carrying 120.
You're talking 60 plus tons, so $120,000 worth of mineral.
And this dickhead has got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's unreal, man.
Crazy.
Yeah.
How's do you remember the first day you took me into the pit? Something crazy happened.
Into what? Which pit are you talking about?
At the side of Iluka there, at the southern end of Iluka.
Oh, down to the stockpile. The
stockpiles.
Yeah. The snake.
Snakes.
Oh, mate, I do. Because I'm petrified of snakes.
Dude.
Right? And I remember going, righto, mate. Now, when you get out, just make sure you look for snakes because, I only told someone this story. I'll probably tell every new bloke that I take down there the story.
Yeah.
Because I go, had me mate Peppercorn, which is what I call you, had him down the stockpiles when he started. And, like I say, we got down there and, whatever you do, watch out because there's lots of snakes around.
Yeah.
Anyway, I remember getting out and you got out and you went, like that one over there. And I thought you were joking.
Yeah.
And there's this tiger snake
right there
coming towards us.
Yeah.
And if I remember rightly, it actually went under the cab and started looking at going up my drive or up the driver's side.
Yeah, dude. And by the time we had gone from there to the exit of the stockpile, we had seen 12 snakes.
Yeah, mate, that place is mad
Crazy.
For snakes. And it still is mad for snakes.
Everything's black out there, eh?
Yeah.
So it must be...
But the stockpiles now, I will say, mate, you'd go out there now and go, wow, like floors are done, like limestone pads everywhere.
Really?
Mate, oh, yeah, big time.
They had one
spend
that
a lot
was
of money
done.
there. Hey?
They had one that was done like that, one limestone pad that was done.
Everything's limestone pads now, mate. Pretty much. They've got one section that needs doing. The rest, that whole stockpile is just,
that's crazy.
Mate.
I remember you were one dig at the face off fucking...
Yeah, mate, and
the
amount of times back in the old days, I spent more time in a loader and a sling in winter, pulling trucks out of the bog, than actually doing any jobs.
Yeah, true.
That's how it was back in the day. You just had to. We used to have the sling on a lighting tower down there because we had to use it probably 2-3 times a night during winter. Like seriously,
so I reckon I got bogged down there a handful of times. Yeah. Because, you sort of have to hit it with a bit of curry and just keep it moving.
Put a bit of weight on your drawers.
Keep it moving,
Keep it moving, mate. Or you
get it there. You're not bogged. Just put your trailer up a bit, you fucking idiot.
I'll teach you how to get out of here, mate.
Yeah, shit. I completely gapped on that. But, that was it wasn't a regular occurrence. I think it was a regular worry, though.
Oh, getting bogged?
Every time I went out there, just get your shit off and just get out, you know.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, you sort of like... I don't know what job it was, but you would have to go out there, tip your dog, unhook, tip your lead, go back, hook up.
Yeah, all of that. Plenty. You would have been, like non-mag, like we had the non-mags, the HMC.
Yeah.
Now we got coal, like a lot of coal coming into the stockpile. But pretty much anything that you used to take out the stockpiles, you'd have to. Yeah, and when you tipped off, you had to make sure you went somewhere where it was nice and flat. Which back in the day, probably even back when you were there, struggled.
That was hard
at times.
Oh, you put the leg down on the A-frame and you'd fucking unhook, pull forward, and you'd be like, the A-frame's like a foot and a half lower.
Yeah. Especially winter. Like, winter was horrible, mate. Horrible. Absolutely. Yeah, because the leg of your A-frame would just sink through the mud and you go to back on and go, get out. And
is this my trailer? Like, you know?
Yeah,
unreal. And I remember... You know those the trailer set, the Hardocks on the side?
Mm-hmm.
I was
still got them.
First person to ever pull them.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Because didn't we have the scales? We still had the scales or something in the... That was 423. You had that 423.
Yeah.
Because that was the only one that was programmed that actually had
internal
scales in the dash.
Yeah.
And it was the only truck that still, I remember, ever to have it. Oh, it only ever worked because we had the ABS. Them trailers came in, had the ABS and all that. And then it started working. It was like, and I remember playing with it going,
they were weird. There was something about them too. They were heavy. They were heavy, but you had an extra axle. And by the time you figured it out, I think they paid like an extra 15 grand for the extra axle to be able to carry 250 kilos more.
Yeah, I can't.
Like it was nothing.
Because and then they put that slip stuff in and the tear weight on them.
Yeah,
crazy. Massive, mate.
Yeah. I mean, just every time you push it up, you got like a fucking 15-stage hoist, and you're worried that it's going to fucking fall over.
And they were longer, hence why you probably hit a few sheds. Shed roofs, mate.
I don't know about that. I think it was just a lack of skill.
I was going to tell you when you were saying about funny stories. I remember when I first started driving trucks, and I remember thinking I was a legend. Yeah, when you first drive them, and you know it damn well, like if you get in the road train or whatever, you think you're King Dick. Yeah, you do. You think, oh mate, I've done this.
15 metres off the ground.
I remember being at the Picton lights, and I'll never forget it. I've been driving for 2 or 3 days by myself. So it was when I was by myself, and I remember being there going, and I saw this, Mac. I remember it was a Mac Titan across from me, and a bloke in there, at the other side. I'm like, I'm in this Volvo. It's only 8-wheeler and a dog.
Yeah.
But back then that was
a big man.
I'm the man. Yeah. But I remember getting in there, and I remember changing gears, and I remember, going like this, doing the big circle motion. Didn't have to, but I was just trying to, and chewing gum.
Yeah.
Trying to make, and I remember this bloke just going, mocking me, going, "You flogger," and I never did it again. Never ever. 20 odd years I've been driving. I've never ever. I've never, from that day forward I went, oh mate, like you just saw me for what I was, an absolute tool. You tool, mate.
Dude, isn't it weird that like is it a cognizant dissonance? Is that what I'm trying to? There's definitely like a gap between. I feel like truck drivers are real smart and real dumb.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Very fucking smart in like when you've got 12 hours in silence by yourself.
You can sort the world's problems, mate.
Brother, you can figure it out.
Yep.
But then try and fucking string a sentence together during smoko.
Oh, mate.
And you're like, the salmon market. You're like, what are you talking about,
I've still got them issues, mate.
Dude, it's crazy. And like shit like that, I could see it in my mind as you're saying it, because there is nothing like a fellow truck driver pulling the piss out of you. You know what I mean? Like, heaven forbid you fuck up and someone sees it.
Oh, mate. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck. Oh, mate. You cop it.
Unreal, eh?
Back in the day, like now's not so bad.
Yeah.
Like, because it's so, we got women in the workforce, like Cube's just diverse now.
Yeah.
Back in the old days, mate, they wouldn't even let you drive their truck. When I started, I remember going in there when on the first day I started, eyebrow ring, tongue ring.
Yeah.
And I remember the boss going, geez, mate, you look like you went CUNT up into a tackle box.
Yeah.
I went, oh, yeah, right. Anyway, all the old blokes didn't want me anywhere near their trucks. Nowhere near it. That bloke doesn't know what he's doing. I don't want him near my truck. And I remember hearing it. I remember 3 days in, driving, and I had the two-way. Keep going, mate, and we'll put Richie in your truck tomorrow. Because I was the youngest bloke back then.
Unreal.
I pestered him for that long to try and get a job there.
Yeah.
And when I got it, it was like one of the youngest blokes I'd ever had there for the insurance. And, mate, did I cop it. I cop it. Your dad was one of the blokes that actually was really good to me. Actually, don't get me wrong, there was a lot of good fellas there.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of old fellas that they're old school, mate. Like, you don't touch my truck.
It's easy to say, like, fuck them, but at the same time, it was their era.
That's it. And the older you get, the more you go, I understand. The hours they did, the work they did. Trucks back then, like, that was their world. That was their truck. You stuffed their truck, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
Also, I remember when I started working for Homeboy, the subby, he serviced his own truck.
Yeah.
He fucking, I saw him out there with a little, I don't know if he was re-grooving his tyres, but I saw him out there cutting the fucking thing. And I'm like, this dude knows his truck.
Oh, unreal.
I got taught from day one, if you get a flat tyre, you call the workshop and sit on the side of the road.
That's right. They change your tyres. They do.
Not do anything.
That's what I mean. Truck drivers back then, even when I started, you change your own tyres, you did everything. Yeah. Now, you're not allowed to.
Yeah.
Because of shoulder injuries. Like, mate, you're not allowed to do any of that.
Yeah.
Down here,
It's a bit of a bloody, I don't know, it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because at one side, you're like, I get it from a business point of view. I feel like if you have blokes, I mean, how many times they need to be done over by compo before they go, look, enough is enough. We're just going to get someone who that's their job.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But there's also a integrity ownership that comes into play when it's your truck and you're looking after it. Like I remember there was probably 2 or 3 blokes where they only did day shift.
Yeah.
And if anyone drove their truck on night shift, it better been for a good reason.
Yeah, and it better be clean.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
when
yeah.
it comes back in, it better be the same way.
Oh, and these blokes, they start at 6 in the morning, knock off at 3 in the afternoon. It's like they barely work here and they get to claim this truck.
And they get their own truck, and most of the time they're the better trucks. Even back in the old days, you know, that hasn't changed over the years, you know. They still, and they used to they'll take the keys home. The boss would be like, oh, we need your truck. Oh, too bad.
Yeah.
Like,
what are you going to do?
They just take the keys home, mate, and go, no, you're not getting it. Like,
what's the churn rate like? Like between since I've left it now, how many blokes have you seen come and go?
Oh, mate. Since you've gone, not joking, hundreds.
That's crazy.
I reckon it would be 100 at least, 100, you know. Yeah, they do. They come and go, mate, because, you know, FIFO, they chase the money. You know, a lot go and then come back too. Don't get me wrong, like, you know. But like I say, it's changed so much. Even since you were gone, like, how long you been gone? 5 years?
Say 5 years,
5 years? Mate, you'd come in now, like, whole different, you know, we've got the Picton depot's totally changed. We don't even like start there anymore. We've got another depot down there, was it behind LGM?
Really?
Industries, yeah. Behind them, we've got another big cube depot there. So that's where we start because they ran out of room to park trucks. Like, because we got.
Oh, really?
So storage, yeah, exactly.
That was a massive problem when I was there.
Exactly, but they've built more sheds.
Finish your shift at 5 o'clock and you're like,
where do I park?
And you park out the front of the office, like, you can't fucking park there. It's like, well, here are the keys, dickhead. Go put it where you want it.
Exactly, yeah. Nah. So
as much as I've knocked truck driving, I've got some brilliant memories from truck driving. 100%. You know, there's there'd be times where you'd be on road, especially when I was working for the subby, because it was Toopy was in the morning, and me at night, and he was annoying because he rocked up 45 minutes early for his shift every time, but it was also the best thing as well. You know, so you'd pull up and you have your little routine, like 2 hours before the end of your shift, you start doing the wind down. You know, you do your dash. On the next run, you do your windscreen. You come back. You do all the pre-start for him. You know he's going to do it anyway, but you do all the pre-start for him. Check everything over. 20 minutes before you hit the depot, you Glen 20 the entire cab. Just all the little bits and pieces. And then handing your truck over to someone who gives a fuck as much as you do is beautiful.
And that's important.
And you get it back in the same condition and you're like, oh, man, you have your spot. Your smoko box fits perfectly in the gap. It's just little things, It's bloody not. And you'd have like a break and you'd have your blinds closed in the thing. You're asleep under 30 seconds. Under 30 seconds, Waking up at 19 minutes and 30 seconds, back in the seat, boots on, away you go.
Away you go again.
I love that, I love that. Yeah, it's I do a lot of bashing of truck driving because I feel like it was the other end of the spectrum of where I wanted to be.
Yeah. Totally different to what you're doing now.
Oh, and this
totally
shit's effortless.
But like I say, mate, shapes you.
Yeah,
gets you to understand. Build you from what you were then to what you are now, mate. Two totally different people.
You know what's weird? I was talking to someone about this just this morning, actually, on the walk. I was like my first job ever. First job was mucking stables, just up the road from where we lived in Jullora.
Yeah,
and I did that for like a year and a half, $10 an hour, 3 shifts a weekend, every week. And in the gaps, I was also, this might have also been before that as well, like I was selling like popcorn and fairy floss at the Jullora markets. I bought chocolate molds and I make like molds of different stuff at different times of the year. So like, Easter eggs at bloody Easter and this at Christmas and blah, blah, blah. I was selling that at the Jullora markets. I was, buying and selling stuff just in general. You know what I mean? Like I remember one of my fucking most heaviest sales I ever made was I sold my stamp album that Mum and I built up over years. I sold that for $25 to a girl I went to school with. Yeah. And thought like, fuck, I made money on this, I'm a money maker, And I think like that continued in its own whatever form it took through my teenage years and being like in my 20s and then into my 30s. And I think one of the big things was like I used to have conversations like I would have on a podcast now in my head while I was driving trucks.
Unreal.
And I would think about like well, if I was going to start a T-shirt, because obviously BlXCK INK was a bit of a brand while it was a coffee brand as well. Like there were people wearing BlXCK INK when I was truck driving. You know, if I was to kick that in the guts, I'd do it this way. And, you know, like those gears were always turning. Mm-hmm. That entrepreneurial spirit was always there.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, you know, what the thing that I was saying this morning to this dude is like, I'm finally in a position where like the business is built, the equipment is there, we know what the product is, we have a customer base, we have like a daily routine, we've got customer touch points, we've got a process, we've got like goals for the future, we've got systems, we've got invoicing, we've got job code, we've got all this, we've got suppliers. Like I'm finally at the stage now, and it's very recent, like the past month.
Yeah, right.
It's felt like this.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm finally at the place where in my mind I felt like it was achievable all through those years, and especially when I had time to really like sit on it and marinate in it truck driving.
Yeah.
I've only just got there.
Yeah.
And fuck, man, now it just feels like effortless.
Unreal.
The work comes in, you turn it into money, you deliver it, you shake hands with a customer, and they go and tell 5 people and 4 of them come to you with more work, and then now it's at a stage where it's just keep up.
So you just flat out?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
awesome.
I won't be completely transparent with the numbers, but we're now owed in invoices what our monthly best case scenario goal was 6 months ago.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
So we've got to that stage where, I mean, Riz supported this whole thing. She was working full time and I was doing this full time in the caravan with a laptop.
Yeah.
She supported me for probably, it was a liberal 2 years. And then there was a thing where I could like start to afford to like chip into shopping and here and there. Like here's a bit of cash.
I remember them days when you were at the back of your dad's house. Yeah,
for real. You know. And then I remember when we moved into Kerry Park. I'm not sure whether we split the rent or if I'm going to make this work, I need to at least make enough money to pay rent.
Yeah.
And then like I'm talking, when I say she supported me, she paid for everything except for like my car insurance, my phone bill. Like she's paid for everything, like shopping, fuel, all of the Netflix, all the bullshit.
That's
like,
awesome, mate. That's unreal. A partnership, mate. That is
and also now when it does start doing well and you have those wins, like we celebrate.
You win together. Yeah, that's right.
This is all us now.
Yep.
You know, and it's like I don't know. I feel like now we're getting to a point where it's like we've got the past the survival part, and now it's like, you know, like we both get a wage every week. She's employed full time. I'm employed full time. And now we're, you know, at another 6 months, just staying at the level we're at, we'll officially be like, we're making like more money than what we need to make this work. You know, like obviously we're in debt to get where we are now.
Well, and like
it's part of it.
Like anyone, mate. The first, you know, when you do come big, the money comes in and you're buying more stuff. You're building the brand. You're building the business.
You're building $50,000 printer, $3,000 laptop.
Look at what you've got now because I've been there from the start. I remember, you know, when you're at the back of your dad's house with the caravan, and then I remember going to Kerry Park, seeing you just get that first screening machine.
Yeah, the screen printer.
Put on your mate, and my son going, wow, he does podcasts. That's when he was like right into Jakey Kerr, you know.
Yeah. That's right. You were telling me was it you or Susie telling me that you'd be bloody doing something and you'd hear my voice in the background and he'd be listening to...
listen to your podcast or listen to you talking. What are you doing? I'll listen to Jake. Oh, okay, mate.
That's crazy. He was listening to the early shit where I just didn't have any fucking concern for who was listening.
Loved it, mate. And he's still got, he's got your BlXCK INK desk.
Yeah.
Just like...
We'll have to send you home with some stuff to...
Yeah. So he'd be all excited about the potty.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Dad's not... I'm like, Jake will be doing most of the talking, but I'll...
you're pulling your weight.
I'll pitch in.
Dude, sometimes so when you edit it, you can sort of see who did the talking for the most amount of time.
Yeah.
And you kind of want to see 50-50.
Yeah, right.
Ideally, if you bring on someone, you know, like... business person, whatever, if they've got, you know, a bit to talk about, I just really want to softball them.
Yeah, right.
Talk. This is about you, not me.
Yeah, right.
And some of them you do the editing and I'm like, I talked 90% of the time.
Yeah. Really?
I'm glad they came here for me to tell them.
You know? Yeah.
But no, it's...
I've got another the one thing about you, right? I just popped into my head about the stockpiles, right? One of my early memories of having you there, and I think you hadn't been. I think you were there a week or so, and I was down there at the stockpiles. And I'm going, what's this fella doing? And there you are. You're out limbering yourself up. You got your leg up, and you're doing your stretches. You're doing all your thing, and I'm like, this guy's right into his fitness. Yeah, brother. With the rest of our us truck drivers that are out there on their durries, and here's young Jakey Spice doing his,
Dude, that's still
mate,
the same.
You were out there at the stockpiles, black as black as dusty, and there you are, outside stretching. I
think that's a reset for me, Yeah, because I do it now. Like I'm constantly stretching. Yeah. It just feels like I always, I have this fucking inside joke of myself, like stretching feels good and it's for free.
Yeah.
You can just do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like no one's going to fucking look at you sideways for stretching.
Yeah.
And it's like I said before, like I got the muscle mat here. You can't see it on camera. I got the muscle mat and like literally, if shit gets too hard, I'll fall out of the chair and just start bloody just feeling it. Like a kid, you roll around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't know, there's something about, it's like it releases, like your muscles like hold on to stress, and when you stretch, it just like gets it in the blood flow and lets your body fucking work it out.
Yeah.
There's something, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of things that humans do that in 20 years' time will have scientific reasons as to why, like, when you stretch, it does actually release this
definitely
aura of negativity, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, what's some things that your teenagers are teaching you about the world at the moment?
Oh, mate, you know what? Like, as me and Susie say, the snappity chats and Snapchat. Because I'll be honest, mate, no idea. All I've got's Facebook, and even then I hardly use that as well. But marketplace, mind you, car parts, cars.
Full on.
But just I remember like with Patrick, last year or the year before, playing up, being a teenager, give us your phone, Nah. I need me snaps. I need to. What did he say? He needed to.
Keep his
streaks.
Yeah,
that's it. Going on about his streaks. I'm like, you what? I'm going to lose me streaks. I'm like, I have no idea what that is, mate, and I don't care.
Just give me your phone. To Troy, Danielle, just these four people, please.
I always thought Snapchat was just funny faces, being able to do the funny, funny face. But like they're teaching me that. Like I say, like James, even like the technology. These kids, 8, 10 and 11, because they've got tablets, like they use them at school, they're full on in.
Got to have them.
They know more about the technology side than I do. Like when it comes to certain things, like he can, no, Dad, you got to do this. Righto, thanks, mate. 11 years old, but okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those. It's I don't know. It's
evolving,
weird.
Mate. It's just everything. I can't keep up with it, mate. Yeah. Technology of today, like it's just it's crazy.
I feel like I'm real lucky. I'm born in 92, and like it didn't really happen until I was sort of in my adolescence. And there's something to being able to feasibly problem solve.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like if there's a physical problem, I can actually look at it and assess it and move things around and get it.
Yeah.
And I feel like the next generation, they're really like, unless they have a screen that they can Google or ask ChatGPT and move in that direction.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, like, don't be scared to like manually Tetris your way out of this.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, like writing. Kids today, like out of all my kids, I don't think one of them's need handwriting because they don't write.
Yeah.
They type. Pretty much.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, I know they still do a little bit at school, but like especially the high school kids, they're just looks like a doctor's written it. It's messy as.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Remember Mavis Beacon? You do that? Mavis Beacon teaches typing?
No.
So it was like the original program. There'll be people listening going like, I remember Mavis Beacon.
Yeah, right.
But it was a look at the screen, look at the thing, type and check. And that was like stage 1. And then stage 2 would be like, look at the screen, don't look at your fingers, type and check.
Yeah, right.
And then stage 3 would be look at it, look away, type and check. And so you'd eventually like get to a point where you're like, I can write this sentence without looking. I can write that sentence without looking. But the combination of all of the sentences together meant you could use every part of the keyboard with
Yeah.
The opposite. And that would teach you down to like hitting the space bar with your thumb.
Yeah,
and
right.
like hitting these letters here with these two fingers, these letters here with these two. So it's like it was there's actually a correct way of typing.
Yeah, right.
And Mavis Beacon was like the technically correct way. See, a lot of people now, like, I know people that only use 4 fingers and are as quick as me typing.
Unreal.
So, brother, you're making it hard for yourself. Use your whole hand.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, I've actually got pretty good at typing since I've been in the office now. Not driving the trucks as much.
Pencil pushing, bloody.
Yeah.
Look at you. Clean uniform.
Oh, clean uniforms, mate.
Yeah.
You know, nah, still getting the trucks and loaders when, it needs to, mate. But yeah. No, it's...
You got much of the old brass still at Iluka?
Like the older fellas still there?
All the like process operators?
No, even, you know what, even when it comes to Luke and all that, a lot of them blokes have retired.
All swapped.
Yeah,
Lukey
mate.
Muffler still out there?
Who?
Lukey Muffler?
Lucas?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, he was on night before last. He was actually out there.
Oh, you'll have to tell him you're on the podcast. He'll be stoked.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Lukey.
Yeah,
I
good on you,
Lukey.
Lukey.
All the time, eh?
Yeah.
He's this weird character of my mind. I remember. Do you know the drug fuck story?
Nah.
Oh, I forget the context. He's going to hate me for bringing this up. So Lucas started working for Dad.
Yeah.
And then he eventually, like all good employees of Dad's, ended up getting bloody drafted over to Iluka in a good time.
Yep.
And I forget what the context was, but he might have been, I want to say he was like around our place because we used to have staff parties. In my memory, it was like every like month we would just have people around and you'd get food and piss and everyone would be laughing. And anyway, he said something along the lines of like, I wouldn't expect you to, referencing Dad and I, to remember because you just fucking drug fucked idiots. Dad and I, and he said it as a joke.
Yeah.
And Dad and I looked at each other like eyebrows raised, like, couple of drug fucked idiots, are we? Couple of drug fucked idiots. That poor cunt didn't live that down. Still, he hasn't, and that would have been 15 years ago. You know.
Oh, mate, that's gold,
dude. 15? Sorry, it would have been 12 years ago. 11, 12 years ago.
Yeah. Well, he's gone pretty well. He's going pretty well at Iluka. Well, he's right up there now. Like 2IC for shift coordinator.
Unreal.
Yeah, so he's doing well.
Dude, really any chance we got to slip that in?
Yeah.
Any chance.
Yeah.
You know, like you'd be signing the JHA and you go to Ross. Oh, almost wrote drug fuck then. How do I spell Jake again? Lukey, how do I spell Jake?
Gold, mate, gold. No,
bloke,
he hasn't changed either. Yeah. Hasn't changed. Still says there what he thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
constantly.
Good on him.
Yeah.
He was a good example of a bloke that you would you'd tell him how to do something.
Yep.
And he would do it the exact same way a million times, and you'd come back in a year's time and he's still doing it the exact same way he got taught.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
Didn't take liberties, and I mean that in a good way.
Yeah, no. Good bloke. Good bloke.
Because it's like, I think the one thing you learn, the one thing that I took away from Iluka and Cube was if you want to figure out the easiest way to do a job, you give it to the laziest cunt you can find, and he will shortcut everything until he gets to that point. Lucas was the complete opposite of that.
Yeah.
You're like, the correct way of doing it is the hardest way. He will do it the hardest way every time.
Yeah.
You know? And I just, dude, blokes like that, you don't find them
1 in a million, mate.
Yeah, they really are. They really are. There you go, Lucas. That's for you, buddy.
Yeah, good on you, mate.
I might be drug fucked, but I still give you a good shout out, you know? Unreal.
Oh.
All right, I've got messages and emails and shit piling up. We might have to...
No
but
worries.
thank you very much for coming on.
No worries at all, mate.
I honestly didn't expect you to say yes.
Yeah, like I said, mate, this is way out of my comfort zone for what I'm normally doing. But, I did actually, like I said, what are you doing? Well, for him. Doing it for him. Like, it's not something I'll do. That's
bloody oath.
Try to ruffle your dad into going.
Dude, I think it's cool. I think it's cool, you know? I have all these people on where a lot of times I'm meeting people on camera.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, as much as like I love it, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool, it's fun.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's a lot of people that have listened to every single podcast and they don't, outside of the friends that I hang out with right now, they don't have any real like fiber connection to where I've come from, to where, and not saying that my story is all that, but for the sake of the person who is interested in the story, I think like you offer a little bit more sort of transparency and like what that was.
Well, what I would like to say is that I'm proud of you, mate. I really do want to say that.
Stop it. I will tear up.
Seriously, mate. You've done so well.
Thank you very much.
So awesome job, mate. Yeah. And, sky's the limit, mate. Get that kid happening.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm trying my very best. Get that kid happening. Yeah. All right. We'll wrap it up there. Thank you very much for coming. Everyone else, be good to your mum because we are out.